think we're going to go ahead and get started. Look at that. I'm on the screen. I'm on the internet. Hello world. So today what I want to do is I have a few assets I want to go through and start to build out for the speeder. I got like these rolls back here that I want to have like as kind of like rolls of tarp or rolls of like sleeping bag. So I'm going to model those inside of Maya. It's a really cool trick that I learned working on How to Train Your Dragon that I'm going to use to be able to do that. So let's go back to Maya Classic. Cool. And then we'll make this, and then we'll make a sleeping bag. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to make it the dimensions that I want first. Let's, let me see. Let's maybe make it like 6 feet long. So scale in the Z, we'll say 6. And, you know, this might have to get scaled up or down, however it goes inside of the thing, but you know, whatever. We'll say 3 feet wide. That looks pretty good. It needs to definitely be a lot thinner. And then we'll probably go through and make a couple of these. Okay, so here's what we want to do. We are going to take this, since we have this in very specific sort of dimensions. What we can do, let's go ahead, we'll delete history. Oh, you know what, we don't want to delete history yet. We want to use this. Since we have it 3 across in the X and then we have 6 up, we're just going to go ahead and make it so that it is, width is going to be 3. Oh, shoot, not that, sorry, width, subdivisions and width 3, and then subdivisions for the depth is going to be 6. Okay. So that way we get nice squares going through here. We'll we definitely need to add more, but this is where we're going to kind of start. Okay, I'm going to need probably each of these divided by 4. So let's take this up to 24. Let's say 12. Okay. Now I'm trying to decide if this is going to be enough. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to start kind of adding in kind of like these bevels to make it look like it's got, like, I'm not going to model the whole sleeping bag the way that it would be if it were an actual sleeping bag. But I definitely want to make sure that I have it looking like it's got the surface quality to it. So what I'm going to do is I've got these edges selected. I'm going to shift right click and say transform component, and boom, let's just kind of pull it in like that a little bit. Oh, you know what, even better, let's do it like this. Let's say bevel. Let's turn the fraction down quite a bit, turn segments up, and now we can go through, select these. Okay, and now we can go ahead and transform a component. Thinking about the runway vibe. Could be cool to do a sci-fi reimagining of a bindle bag on a stick. It's part of the gear in the back. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, yeah, you were here yesterday, right? One of the things that I was thinking about was doing something kind of almost like a tracker, so that it's it was just kind of an interesting thought that I had. Let's go ahead and kind of select these. Let's make sure that they're nice and even. But I think some sort of bindle bag, I think that's kind of interesting. yeah, I want to do the. So I want to do the. I want to do the wrapped up sleeping bags and stuff like the tarps, things like that. And then I also want to do the big basket. I have like a basket, a wicker basket that I want to put in right here, this cube. And then I gotta model straps going over and kind of tying those things down. So I gotta figure out how to make it so that it feels like it's nice and fleshy, for lack of a better term. But yeah, I'm super excited about it. I think it's gonna be super cool. And especially so I'm gonna be making a brand new custom nano mesh, not nano mesh, poly mesh, what do we call it? Micro poly pieces to be able to go ahead and make a new weave for this piece. So it should hopefully be super super cool once it's done. But yeah, I'm excited. Okay, let me see. Where are we at? Oh, we're in Maya. I was like, where's the thing I was working on? Okay, let's go ahead and grab this. Let's go ahead and insert a loop. Somebody sounds like they're either having a really good time or a not as good time. Okay, I think I got all those border edges. Okay, good. Let's go ahead. I am going to shrink. Oh, not that much. Here, let's do it actually just one direction at a time. So what I'm trying to do is get a little bit of a roundness. In fact, maybe what we'll do is we'll just do like, let's just do them side to side. Because I mean the ends don't need to be affected in order for this to work. So let's, and vice versa. When we go ahead and do these ends, it'll be the same thing. A little bit less, something like that. And then we can go ahead and we can take the corners and we can scale those in. I might have to go ahead and like totally what's the word I'm looking for? Like okay, that's gonna look kind of cool. I want to add a bevel in here before I roll it up so that I can, or maybe I'll wait to add the bevel after. Might be better at that way actually. Let's do it that way. Okay. Here we go. We're gonna delete history. We're gonna call this good for now. Okay, let's go ahead and roll it up. All right, let's get the deformer. Let's get the nonlinear wrap, or not wrap. What is it? Nonlinear bend. Let's get that curvature bent up so that we can see what we're doing. .90 Turn this 90 degrees. Okay, 0 degrees. Cool. All right. Now we can come over here, we can say curvature and just really boost this up. Let's say 270. Looks like it needs to be say 360. Let's say 570. So you can see it's like it's wrapping around. I'm trying to remember now. Trying to remember now what it was that I did to be able to make that map. Maybe it was, let's take the low bound, set it to 0. I'm trying to remember what it was that I did. Because like this is really cool for getting the wrapping to happen. I need to go in and add in that meld code to be able to make sure that I can turn my polyframe on and off inside of Maya, but I haven't done it yet. In fact, maybe I'll do that now. There's a useful open up Pinterest real quick. That's kind of cool. Okay. Reverse s'mores. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Okay, sweets. Okay, let's check this out. We're going to come over here. We're going to say, what was I looking for? I was coming over to look for, what was I coming to look for? Maya. Okay, now I gotta find the pin. Is that really all I've got in here? I swear I had more. Dynamic rope bridge. I want to learn how to do that actually. That's one I need to go through and learn. Doing books. That's super cool. I have lost. Be able to set your pivot point. Wireframe unshaded. There we go. I knew it was in there somewhere. Okay, so this is the code in order to be able to do that. Hola, hermano Bardes. So yeah, there's the pin for being able to turn on, like, to be able to make a shortcut for your wireframe on shaded. I like to have it so that it's the same for what's it called? The same for Maya as it is for ZBrush. Okay. Let me see. Ay, qué brutal. Cough is killing me. Okay, so grab that. And then what I need to do, need to open the hotkey editor. Let's go to, is it general? Actually, it might not even be in here. It might be underneath file. Or it's underneath the settings and preferences. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and let's get this done. Okay, so to be able to do this, let's go ahead and open this up. Let me see what we can, custom scripts. Interesting. To assign or edit a hotkey, select the edit hotkeys for. Runtime command editor, we're going to say new. Runtime command, we're going to call this wireframe on shaded on off. Okay, I'm going to type in, oh, that got weird. Here, let me actually go through and just type it, because it looks like it's liking the formatting too much. Dang it. Oh well, maybe it'll work anyway. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. We'll say custom scripts, it's fine. Subcategory, I don't know we need anything like that. So yeah, we'll keep all that. That should be good. Save runtime command. Runtime command name must begin with an alphanumeric. It is an alphanumeric. Or underscore. The remaining characters in the name must consist of alphanumeric characters. Or okay, so in fact, we'll just turn off the on and off part. So it's been saved. So what we're going to do is we want to come over here. We want to say keyboard. Let me see. I'm trying to remember now. Okay, let's see if it'll just let me. So Shift F. Shift F is already assigned to the frame selection without you say save. Save and close. There we go. So now I can turn it on and off just like I would inside a ZBrush. Yeah. Like I said, easy. Took a little bit of finagling, but we got it. We got it. All right. Cool. Okay. So let's get this. So you can see the way that it's like it's wrapping up on itself just fine. Oh, I remember what it is that I need to do. I need to take this. I need to just turn it. I'm just going to change the scale to 1. Oh, let's change it to 10. And then we will say curvature, set that to, oh, let's just keep driving it up. Will it let me just drive it up? No, it won't let me drive it up. Okay, it might be a little bit too much. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna change it back down to like 750. Let's change it back down to like 250. And then here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to just scale it. Take our high bound, or our low bound, we'll change that to 1 as well. If it'll let me. -1, sorry, -1. Just kind of pull this back a little bit so that it envelops the whole thing. And then we'll kind of scale this in some. There we go. So now we get something like this. That's better. Trying to be careful with how much I tilt this because I want to make sure that it's getting a good wrap, but I want to make sure that the pieces aren't getting totally like screwed up. You know, it's I want to make sure that that stays nice. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this and we're going to commit it. So we're going to delete by type history. I'm going to take this face, shift double click to this face. Okay. Just kind of like shrink this down, shrink down the influence a little bit. And then we'll just kind of take this and move it up and in a little bit more. And then we'll take this, because it doesn't need to be like perfect circle, but I do want to try to control the shape so that I can, you know, so that it looks nice and you know, purposeful and things like that. So let's grab this, maybe boost our soft select a little bit. Just kind of shrink it up a little bit so that it's a little bit tighter. And then here inside the center, I'm just going to go ahead and select these faces here in the center. Grab those. We'll say transform component, just to kind of inflate it a little bit. Yeah, maybe even give it a little bit more. The soft select doesn't affect it, so it's not really a big deal one way or another. Do something like that. Grab this, grab this. Oh, pardon me. Okay, same thing. Let's go ahead and we'll say transform component. Let's turn off our wireframe. Okay, so now this is what we end up with, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, it looks like a piece of something there, you know. So let's add some sort of seam here on the end, or like, you know, going around there, and then we'll probably actually add a zipper too, but we'll do that inside of ZBrush. I think that'll be a lot easier, and we'll probably just go ahead and use the same zipper that we made yesterday for the jacket. So. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Sleeping bag. And since we're inside of Maya for this, I can go ahead and I can do my UV unwrap here too before I take it over, and that'll be nice. Let's go ahead and select that edge. That'll go all the way around the whole edge of every, you know, that whole section. So that'll be nice. Okay, I'm going to say bevel. Oh, I don't want to hit duplicate. I want to hit 1 so I can get that get out of smooth preview. can't remember how it goes, but there's a trick that one of my former supervisors would do. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he would do. But he had this like really cool trick that he would use to be able to get like insert an edge loop right along like the middle of a selection like that. Super cool. And I never figured it out. I know that I've done it before, but it's just like I can't remember what it is. Let's say 3. Okay, 1, sweet. Let's go ahead and transform component just to make sure this is going. Oh, what am I looking at? Okay, wrong. Cool. Yeah, see, that's got a lot of like really cool organic look to it already. Jose. Yeah, so I'm working on that guy. I'm working on some cargo for his speeder. I'm probably going like way beyond what I should be going through for this guy, but I really like how he's turning out. This morning I went through and made his scarf, but like I made it so that it's one continuous piece of mesh that's going around. It's kind of fun. Works like an actual scarf. But yeah, right now I'm going through and trying to create, you know, a sleeping bag and maybe like some sort of tent or something like that. Yeah, I decided to check that just now. Yeah, I would have sworn that there used to be some sort of option from when he yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about it. It's not a huge deal. This section though, let's go ahead, let's grab this to this. Oh, come on. Grow it, shrink it. In fact, let's do this. And then I'll just go ahead and kind of extrude this piece in so that it gets a little bit more of that like sleeping bag opening sort of look in there, maybe a little bit. Nah, it doesn't seem like it's necessary. Let's not even worry about it. Okay, let's just say delete history. And then we'll go ahead and we'll yeah, split edges, you know, it's fine. Let's use the multi-cut tool or whatever. Whatever. You think it would be hard for you to learn Maya coming from Blender? I mean, a lot of it is just tools and techniques. that are that are important. And I think that so long as, let's do something like that. Yeah, so long as you've got kind of the principles, the main ideas, the tools are kind of something that you can be more fluid with. Let's go ahead and freeze transformations. We will center pivot. Come up here, 0, 0, 0, enter, so that way it's on the middle of that that origin point there. Freeze transformations again, delete history, file optimize scene size. Okay, so what I want to do, I just want to go through and create this as a new like a new texture, or make a what am I trying to say? I want to make the UVs. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We already have like the cube UVs here, but that doesn't work for me. So I'm going to go ahead and just say UVs. I'm going to get a planar projection. And really for this one, I'm just going to keep it super simple. So I'm going to come up to the UV, down to 3D cut and sew UV tool. And I'm just going to double click right there. Oh no! Ah. Dang it. Okay, let's wait for Maya to start back up. Thank you. Okay, so remember to turn on the audio. Thank you very much. Yeah, okay. So we've got this rolled up. So that looks nice. That's good. Okay. So this will be something that'll work just fine for us for right now. Let me see. And what we're going to have to do for sure is kind of compile different assets into the same UDIMs that we're using for this base. So I'm going to take this for right now. Let's say transform. We'll just put it up one UDIM up. But I mean everything's going to have to go into this one UDIM square, from what I understand for the challenge. The base, which that's what this is what I'm creating for my base, is this character's speed bike. The base needs to be all within 4K texture set. since my idea, more than anything, just to be able to kind of tell his story better, I'm planning on having the speeder bike more as a background element rather than a base. But I don't know if that's really allowed. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to think and trying to put this out in a way that makes sense to me. So I think what I need to do, like for instance, the basket, I'll probably have like maybe okay. So let me kind of block this out maybe in Photoshop so that it's something that I can visually show what I'm hoping to do texture wise for the speeder bike. Hopefully it'll make sense. I want to get rid of that cough so bad. I need to start sucking on some ginger or something. Vamos, Photoshop. Okay, there we go. So, essentially what I need to plan on, let's say create new. Let's say saved. Okay, it's going too slow. Photoshop seems to like kill the stream. Hey Ian, how are you doing? Are you doing anything for the challenge? I couldn't remember if you said you were or not. I'm gonna go ahead and export this just so that I at least have the sleeping bag and I can bring it in later to finish up UVs or whatever. Oh, you're not going to? Bummer. Wow. As soon as I opened up Photoshop, it just super slowed down everything for me. This isn't usually this bad. Why is this so bad? Oh my goodness. Okay, so just for the sake of kind of being able to demonstrate, we'll see if it lets me. Export selection. We're going to take this ArtStation there. Okay, and then we're going to call this sleeping bag. OBJ export. Yeah, that's fine. And then I'm going to close Maya for now. Just say don't save. The reason I want to make sure that I close my, actually it might have gotten rid of my settings there. I don't Okay. Anyway, so my plan is to go through and have let's do it like this. We'll have like a section intended just for the vehicle, so you know, however this gets sectioned out, maybe this is maybe I have the nose cone up in here, so maybe this gets like a little bit, just to be able to kind of, then maybe it's got like the side pieces kind of go maybe like, I don't know, something like this, right? Something like that. I don't know however this would go, right? And then I don't know, like handlebars. The seat. Yeah, different little things. I don't know, button switches, whatever. So we'll just kind of like lay this out, just some way to kind of hint at that being what that is. Okay, so this is kind of like the speeder bike area, and then we have other things like we'll have the so we'll have like our, let's bring this down below here. This will be sleeping bag, sleeping bach. Okay, let's colorize it, make it darker. Whatever color this is going to end up being, you know. Something like that, I don't know. And then you know, just different colors of things going along here, you know. We'll have like, I don't know, whatever extra assets we need to have coming along here. Maybe we'll even have like the maybe we'll call this handlebars. Yeah, let's go ahead and kind of bring this up. Say maybe the handlebars are a little bit bigger, so that way they can handle a little bit more detail. Maybe get like a cool rubber texture pattern on there or something. The challenge ends the beginning of March. It's like after the first week or something like that. So I mean, there's a decent amount of time. It's just gonna take a little while, you know, right? Take this, we'll maybe shift that, and then we'll bring the saturation down. We'll bring the, yeah, okay, something like that. I don't know, whatever. So whatever goes in on here, and then we'll have like a couple different variants for instance, we'll bring this over here. Oh, you know what? Let's actually just bring it over right next to it. We'll shift the color so that it's warmer. And then we'd call this like basket weave 01, and then we can, you know, control J and we bring it over. And, you know, maybe this one's, you know, slightly different, and so, you know, we give it like a slightly different hue, slightly different saturation. Maybe make it a little darker or something. You know, whatever's different. So we'll have like 2 or 3 different variations of these basket weave textures. Okay, yeah, and then just kind of like leading these different things around the outside of things that happen with the textures. I'll have like we'll call this pebbles, and so like I have a pebble that I went through and made for a procedural project that I was working on. Let me show you real quick, because this is a fun one. If you guys saw my goldfish my goldfish that I did on ZBrush Live a few weeks back, I had made the bowl for him. Okay, so I had gone in stairs, environments, Kai's room, I guess props, Kai's room. And then I had this this goldfish bowl that I made. This goldfish bowl has like this texture. I bring it over here. So this texture is one that I can go ahead and I can kind of bring in and essentially make it just cover up this this one little spot. Okay, and then whatever color variation is in there is going to kind of come onto. So let's change this to something like, I don't want it to be something super. Luminosity is kind of cool. We'll change it to soft light. I think that could work. Anyway, so you get the idea, right? Something super interesting. You saw one of my friends saw a guy taking his goldfish for a walk in a bowl. That's awesome. Hello, Governor. How are you doing, Prashant? Yeah, that's really funny. I really think that that's super funny. But yeah, what's cool about this is that now this is a bowl full of these procedurally placed pebbles that are all sharing the same texture space, and so you'll get like, I don't know, at least 50 to 60, sort of, 50 to 100 sort of pebbles sharing the same UV space. But because they're placed differently, you don't see the repeating textures and whatnot. It just kind of works. I'm actually planning on releasing a tutorial series based on how you would go through and create a goldfish bowl. So different tools using Mesh instead of Maya to procedurally simulate these pebbles in place, but then also how to be able to create like the aquarium plant going up on the side and things like that. I've started working on it. I need to I need to keep going on it. I'm going to save this as like a template just so that I have it. I'm not even going to name it template. I'm just going to say T-Speeder. I'm going to say save. That way I know that like that's kind of how I want to be able to lay out my UVs. I'll have different things down here. In fact, I may even like, there'll be some things I'll need to kind of figure out, but this is kind of the idea. The idea. It's about to see how it actually ends up, but good enough for now. Okay, let's grab this. I'm gonna say split hidden. So now with this piece, we can go up here and we can say import sleeping bag. Bing bada boom. Let's go ahead and drag it on into place. So now I can see it's not quite white enough, so I'm just gonna whiten it out a little bit. And it looks good so far. It's already looking like it's ready to ship. How about that? We've got this. Now, one of the things that I want to do is that, if I just look at it like this, I mean, it doesn't look like it's being held together by anything. So I want to have some sort of wrap going around it. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm going to hit Control D just to add one more level of resolution. I'm going to grab my clay brush, and then, actually maybe I don't even need to get my clay brush. Let me do it like this. Just kind of shrink it down a little bit so that it feels like it's got some pressure going into it. Do the same thing with the one next to it, just to make it so that it feels like it's matching more or less with the width of the other one next to it. Okay, and then one of the other things that we can do too, and we'll do this once we get the once we get the cords in there to be able to tie it. But once we get the cords in here, in fact, let's go ahead and just break symmetry, just because that's going to be what I want to do anyway. I'm going to come through here. I'm just going to kind of brush in this extra wrap cord that's going to go around the piece there. Okay, it looks super weird like this, but it should be fine once I go ahead and add like a dynamic smooth or something, you know. Let's go ahead and do something like this instead. So you can see that. So we're going to have to get the cords. Going to lunch. Oh, going to lurk. Okay. I thought you said you were going to lunch. It's like, already? Okay, here's what I want to do. I want to go ahead and essentially take this. I'm going to turn off dynamic. Control-Shift-D. Delete lower. The reason I want to do Control-Shift-D and kind of make my own little copy here is because essentially what's happening is that I need to be able to get rid of my subdivisions, and I need to be able to ruin the UVs in order to add these straps in here. And so let's go ahead and change the intensity down to somewhere close to 50. So yeah, the UVs won't hold with. In fact, let's use the move infinite depth. There it is. Yeah, UVs won't hold when you go through and you use different IMM brushes and things like that, unless the IMM brushes and the shoot. Unless the IMM brush and the piece that you're drawing it onto have the same UV space. I'm pretty sure that's kind of how that works. Or can share the same UV space. I feel like I'm in a major deja vu at the moment. For some reason, like, you ever get that? Deja vu? It's like, it's such a weird thing. And then I've got Prince, Raspberry Beret stuck in my head. Great song. But poly and this poly, and then we can just go ahead and we can stitch it together. Okay, so now that we have these, and this is kind of what we want, or at least starting to be what we want, I'm just going to say delete hidden, because we don't need the rest of it now. And I can just say stitch to endpoint. Just do that, and then we'll turn on symmetry, and then we'll put the alignment of these points here. Okay. So that's looking cool. That's working. Let's grab our curve again. I'm going to turn off the block in so I can see better. Let's go into lazy mouse, turn on lazy mouse, turn that up pretty high. It's not big enough. Something like that maybe. That's better. Oh, I don't want symmetry on. I don't want symmetry on. Just kind of bring this over and around and up, down, and through. Speaking of over, under, up, down, and through, have any of you ever taught a kid how to tie their shoes? I can't figure it out. I just remember like I just remember kind of being taught over, under, up, down, and through, or like, you know, bunny ears and tree and I don't know. I can't remember that one, but just different little things from when I was being taught how to tie shoes, and I can't figure out how to relay the information. I guess I'm just not so good at tying my shoes, but I tie my shoes all the time. It's like they say that it takes mastery of a skill to be able to teach it. So I guess I'm just not that good at tying shoes. You know, it's kind of how it goes, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so now that's good. Now with this, I want to go ahead and start to vary up the shape quite a bit. It's still too like even and whatnot, so I'm just going to, you know, puff it up in places where the straps are not. What did you guys, how were you guys taught to tie your shoes? I'm going to kind of pull this in underneath the strap just a little bit so it's a little bit less even. Let's pull this over some. Okay, that's cool. And then since this is pulled over a little bit, I'm going to pretend like this is pulled out too. Okay, to just kind of vary it up some. Do something like that. Raise that off so that it feels more like it's not penetrating through the main surface down there. We gotta kind of puff this up anyway. Cool. So yeah, there's one. Don't even remember how I learned. Yeah. It was a while ago. For most of us, I'm sure. Okay, I'm gonna grab this end. Let's kind of pull it in some. Let's come in through here with the inflate brush. Just kind of puff that up a little bit. It'll just help kind of make it feel a little bit more organic too. Give it a little bit more puff right there so that it feels like it's being cinched down. That helps to add a little bit more of that cartoony vibe to it too. I'm trying to be careful how I add it though, because some of the, like, I don't want the details to disappear. Let's see, that looks pretty good though. Okay, that looks good. Cargo blocking. Okay, you're gonna say sleeping bag straps. Okay. Thanks, Brashan. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far, and I can't wait to be able to submit this bad boy. The pose is definitely, he's not going to be riding the vehicle. He's going to be actually, I had this idea of him being more down on the ground, kind of squatting and kind of like feeling like a footprint or something in the ground, like he's tracking it, you know. And I'm trying to decide. Ooh, no, I think I just decided. Okay, so what he's going to do, he's going to be squatting on the ground. kind of reaching out. In fact, I gotta sketch it out because this is going to be important to me. Here, I'll tilt this down in case anybody wanted to watch. I don't know how easy it'll be to see, but it'll be here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him. Let's kind of figure out horizon line. You know, kind of like a vanishing point or something like that right there. And then we'll have, you know, just kind of like get some grid lines coming out so we understand our perspective a little bit. And then we'll say that maybe there's another vanishing point like clear out there, so we're getting this sort of thing going on. Anyway, so just so we can kind of understand more or less what's happening with the perspective. Okay. Cool. So we're going to have like a little, I don't know what kind of print it's going to be. If it's going to be like some sort of creature print, I'm going to pretend like it is. For now anyway. Okay, something like that, and it has little pebbles around it or whatever, you know, however it needs to be. So then he's going to be kind of, you know, like, I think he's going to be kind of like, this. He's going to be kind of stooped. He's going to have the one hand kind of reaching out, kind of feeling it or whatever. And then he's going to have the other hand kind of over here. I want to have him like eating an apple, like eating some sort of fruit. So he's going to have like this, like he's going to have a puffy cheek because he's got his mouth full of food. And then we're going to say like there's like the bite taken out of the apple or whatever the fruit is. Of course it's going to be, you know, something different because he lives off world and lives somewhere else, whatever. Or maybe he lives on world and he's like investigating some sort of creature or whatever that's been introduced to the planet because of, you know, off-world invaders or something. I don't know. We got to kind of figure out the story. So there's going to be that sort of thing going on here, and then maybe the speeder bike is kind of like off here into the distance a little bit, and then this foot's going to be kind of over here, so he's kind of supporting himself. You see like the leg coming down. Okay, so that's kind of the idea. That's super rough and terribly sketched, but you know it's. It's just letting the brain vomit onto the page. That's what a sketchbook's for anyway, right? Yeah, let me see. So we've got that. I kind of want to go through and add in the basket next because that's something that I find to be really helpful. Oh, and something else that I want to add. I want to add in some sort of pouch or pouches here along the side somewhere. Maybe on the other side. I don't know. Either way, like I want to be able to paint on some sort of decal right here. Maybe have like some pouches, or actually he'll have like a rifle here kind of blocked in on the side. Let's see. Let's add in. Let's turn off the symmetry. Let's say flatten. We'll turn on our symmetry this way. We'll flatten that down. Accept. And then we'll just kind of push it out. What's nice about this So I can go in here and I can say insert just to get rid of that. Okay. Make it more narrow. And I got to try to remember. Let's add in our spotlight. Let's bring in our spotlight. Speeder bike spotlight. So that way we can see more the shape and the size or whatever the stuff here. Turn off spotlight projection. Okay, so we've got this going on. I do want it to be nice and level though. Okay, so the actual barrel of the gun would go from about there to about there. Nice long rifle. Let's do something like that. Just have it taper down just a little bit. And then right here, what I want to have, oh shoot. Kind of start blocking out the butt of the gun. And this guy's supposed to be a young guy. He's supposed to be a teenager. So going through and still trying to think about, you know, just different things that a teenager would have. How he might have like a, I don't know. Just trying to think of like different things. Just thinking out loud. Some days that cough is like not even there. But some days it's so there, it's like you know you can't ignore me today. So this is obviously going to need some sort of shape in here. Let's go through and we'll do something like this just to be able to keep it nice. Give it a nice little curve in there. Okay. So this gun is still symmetrical. It's still nice. It's just because of the way that I was controlling it. It won't always stay that way if I'm not careful. But let's go ahead and we'll do this. Control Shift A, Control A, Control Shift A, all that. Let's invert the mask. Control click and drag up. Center this. And I'm going to take this and just kind of scale it in. It's going to be kind of like a bayonet sort of thing here. Center it. In fact, let's add in some sort of intermediate point here so that it's so that it's a little bit more tapered. Bring this down. Yeah, and then we'll worry about making that into more of a blade later. trying to decide. I mean, that feels like it's just too far out there. It's like I'm trying to decide if it's a good idea for me to just shorten it. I mean, maybe just taking this, pulling it in. So maybe the gun, like the end of the barrel comes to something about right there. You just kind of pull the bayonet piece up. Make it come to more of a point for right now. Let's kind of skinny it out some. I definitely want to make it shorter. I think it's just a little bit too thick. I want to make sure that the bottom of this bayonet blade is like pointing in the right direction. So we're gonna do that. Control Shift A, Control W. That way it's its own polygroup. Okay, we'll call that good for right now. That could be an interesting idea. Okay, I'm gonna work on kind of trying to clean up, or not clean up, close up the vehicle's front area here. I feel like that'll be important. Let me see. Whew. Okay, I have boof. I'm just ready to... ¿Me deja dormir? No. Pues sí me deja dormir la tos, pero no me deja dormir bien. Sí, no me quiere dejar. Make sure this is symmetrical. Pull this down. Yeah, cough really doesn't want to go anywhere. Okay. Let's get this closed off in the back here. I need to figure out... Okay, so these... I'm going to hide these for now. I'll worry about adding in lights when it's that time. I'm gonna make these all more or less the same depth. I should have just done it at the very first. And you know what? I think I might even not really even like the way that that's going. No, it's not gonna work. Let's go ahead and we'll just take these. say collapse polyloop. We spent like too much time going through and finessing these shapes anyway. Okay, smooth that down. Okay, I want this to possibly go through and out instead of stopping right here, which means I'm going to need to say delete single poly there. That goes up, and let me see, that goes down. I've got like these three-pointed stars that are just offset from each other. Everything's offset. Let me see. Let's go ahead and collapse that down. Even these points out. Let's say slide. Just a tad. So this needs to go straight through. Say insert single edge loop. Put it about right there maybe. Let's go ahead and stitch the end point. Sweet. Not stitch, slide please. Slide. Let's put this down. Like I'm not saying any much, but yeah, whatever. Have you made a groom? No, I haven't. I haven't done grooming before. I would like to, and I think this would be a really fun character to be able to learn that on. Because it's such a fun hairstyle and whatnot. And so I think that like the fur on the shoulders and that the hair, it gives me two different styles of hair that I can go through and play with. But I don't know, I get nervous. Learn something new for a competition. Have you guys ever gone through and learned a tool, learned a trick for an assignment specifically? Mike, look what I made, Mike. Look what we have. Look what I made. I made a sleeping bag. Let's see. I'm trying to go through and think what I want to do next to this. Yeah, let's just keep working on kind of bringing this thing together, making it feel good. I think lights I might just kind of model on the surface, and then I'll have the whatever on top of it, the lens cover thing. Doohickey. Learn something new with every project. I don't know if that says I'm good at seeking out new things to learn, or I barely know anything and there's so much to learn. Well, I think it's a little bit of that way for all of us. Let's see. I'm just going to start working on closing this off. And it won't be closed off like this, like straight across like this in the end, but it's just a way for me to be able to go through and start to add in certain surfaces. Like I want to make sure that I have like an edge loop kind of going around the top here to be able to add that thickness, but then also to be able to control that shape. Some of this, like this will go down and through, and then this will go just down and through that way. So it's kind of a process, but it'll be a good process. The best process. Here's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and say mirror and weld. So I've got that loop in the middle. We'll say insert single edge loop. And then we'll say bridge. Be able to connect those. Bridge these dummies together. And you know what? I guess technically I wanted to go through and split that out so that it was a different shell altogether. So here's what I'm going to do. Control W. Say insert. Hidden mirror and weld just to make sure it's the same. And then these two will likely be separate things. So I don't know, maybe it's just a matter of going through. Let's just do it like this. I've got an idea. Let's, instead of getting all this garbage going in here, let's just get rid of that. We'll say delete hidden. I will take this, let's say insert, inset, polygroup island, standard. Well, actually I don't even want that. say edge loop, not even group loops, no. I guess let's just do this. We'll just say insert. And we'll mask that out. And then we'll say slide. Points, that's good. That's good. Okay. And then same thing, we'll just take that. It's a little bit too much though. Let's say slide edge loop partial. We'll just kind of slide that up just a smidge. I want to get it so it's roughly that same thickness there. Okay. Modify topology, delete hidden. Okay, let's turn on a dynamic thickness. Turn off the smooth, turn up the thickness. .04. Maybe even 0.05. And then I want to change the offset to -100 so that it goes just in that negative direction. I think that's working much better. Okay, so now I've got those panels decided, and it's working. I am trying to decide whether or not to add some sort of split right down here in the middle, or if I want to just have it be like a like a crest, like a little ridge. I'll have it be a ridge. I think that makes more sense to me. So let's do that. Let's say, let's do it like this. Let's say, go extrude, island, hold control. Control W so that it's its own thing. Let's get rid of that. Modify topology, delete hidden, because of course, right? All right, and then slide edge loop partial, except not on that one. Just to make sure that that's all masked out nicely. You know what? Got an idea. Since that wasn't working, let's just go ahead and use the gizmo and just move it. Better idea. We're just going to come up here. We're just going to add in the crease where we want it and then get rid of that. Okay, so now we're good. Now we have that nice little ridge here in the middle that we can let's go ahead and mask that. Say deformation, inflate. Turn on the dynamic thickness there, and it's looking pretty spank. Okay, so we've got that going on, and that's nice. With the front, I want the front to feel like it has something of a grill, so that it feels like it's got, you know, breathing space. So let's say classic Volkswagen Beetle. Google that. Those are not classics, those are new. It's like, good grief. Oh, there we go, Herbie. Custom plastic. Oh my goodness. And it's interesting, I was expecting there to be some sort of grill on there. I really, really like these shapes, by the way. This is kind of like part of the inspiration behind it. Yeah, somewhat what I wanted to kind of pull into it. I wonder how well they breathe, actually, because it's really not a super great design if I were to go through and look at that from a design standpoint of like, how does your engine get the air it needs to stay cool? And maybe that's kind of part of the problems of the engineering. I don't know. Yeah, the Vochito. Was that fun? Bochito. Yeah, okay, so let me see. I want to try going to Pinterest, because I do have a vehicle board that might have some interesting things on it. That goldfish is super cool. Okay, let's see. All the way down. All the way down. Okay. Vehicle design, vehicle reference. We'll open both, I guess. It's like I'm trying to remember just off the top of my head if I have anything that's specifically oh, they're known as bochitos there. Yeah, here they're called beetles. I don't know if there's like an official name, or if that's, or maybe if that is the official name. I don't know. But yeah, it's a really fascinating shape for a car in those sorts of regards. I love that. I love seeing like really early car designs. Let me see. We got like this old Ferrari. It's super cool. Here's another old Ferrari. Not quite the same thing, but you know, it's got some similar ideas to it. It just doesn't have that grill in the front like we were seeing in the other one. I said in 1957. Yeah. I'm kind of, one of the things that I'm trying to look for is like some way to create like a grill on the front that feels like it works. This is kind of interesting because it has like a grill on the side. Oh, that one's got like a kind of an interesting little grill port right there. That looks almost like it's more like air conditioning. Like it's supposed to be like the air intake so that it can kind of pipe air into the front because it's right in the driver's lap. So bizarre. So bizarre. It's like, what were people thinking? But see, this has some interesting things to it. I mean, it's really simple. I don't know that I want it to be quite like that though. Go back to the board. Let's see if we can find, because I'm looking for something with like thick slats. And I might just invent it, just kind of, not quite like that though. But we'll open it for reference just to kind of look at it and kind of consider different things. That's cool. It's a Maserati, like an old Maserati. I think this is getting the right shape. Like the shape of that fin going across. I like that. So I think I want to do something like that, but I want to have a few of them, like I don't know, 3 to 5. Let's try that. That doesn't make any sense. LA Apparel, you know, with all these cards. It's like, come on. Beard filler. That's really funny. Yeah, I need something like that because I get patchy. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna try something like that, like what we saw in the Mercedes. Where it's got like that, like those wings kind of going across. And we'll just kind of go ahead and push forward with that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to say crease. Oh, I didn't do the whole edge loop. Let's just go ahead and do it like that then. And then let's go up to stroke, functions, crease edges. Oh, grab simple, turn off symmetry. So now we've got this curve kind of coming in here. I want to take it and I want to say, oops. I want to say, not polypaint, polygroups, group by normals. Hide that. Control A. Okay, this isn't symmetrical. Actually, let's do that first. Let's go ahead and we'll say geometry, mirror and weld, and then we will say mirror and weld, and we'll get rid of the side pieces there. Okay. Control A. Okay. So we'll take it like this. We'll say, use the move brush, make it nice and big, turn off dynamic, so we can really take advantage of that the size flexibility there. We'll just kind of pull that out in this sort of way. And I do want it to kind of come into, you know, more flush with the surface down here. Okay, so I'm going to kind of pull that in so that it fits more of that silhouette. That might be coming out a little bit too far. Let's take this. Pull this down. I think maybe 3. Yeah, I think 3 will work. This needs to be kind of adjusted though. I feel like the spacing's kind of weird. but I like the spacing with everything else, like with these top two. So like even though the method that I used to be able to space them out definitely spaced them out the same according to, you know, theory, it just doesn't feel right. I'm gonna do something like that. In fact, I might even go through. Let me see. That's an idea. Just sketch that real quick. Had this idea maybe for going through and making it so the vehicle kind of comes down. So if we're looking at the front, so it's like we've got this. There's the division. We've got the lights kind of coming off the side over here. I'm thinking that like down here, maybe I could come over and make like some sort of window, so that these bars aren't going, you know, all the way across. You know, these bars right here. So maybe what I do is I'll come down, I'll make a bar going down the middle, then I'll make 1, 2, and then yeah, fill on the back, you know, just so that it's more solid here. So you get like 2. And I think that that'll create more of an interesting shape, more almost insect-like. Could be kind of cool. Call it the bicho. So instead of, I'll keep these shapes for now, I guess. We'll go ahead and Control Shift A, and then I'm just going to split this out. Let's hide it for now. I'm going to say geometry, crease, uncrease all. Okay, now to be able to make that shape, let's get the note until next restart. I'm going to inset this. Delete hidden. In fact, maybe not even going back all the way. Let's go ahead and keep that. Interesting. Okay, we'll just go ahead and we'll do something like this, and then we'll go ahead and we'll mold the rest of these pieces kind of around it. Ooh. But something I just thought of. Let's do this. I'm going to do it just kind of like the way that I said I was going to do it. Delete hidden, and then we'll say, come here, you. Il fait froid. My wife's camera shy. just going to pull this down in order to make that shape, which I think is really kind of cool. This is going to be neat because this is varying up this shape a little bit more and adding a little bit more interest. So this is going to work out pretty nicely. Now what I want to do, I just need to figure out exactly how I'm going to go ahead and create the hole here. If I just kind of insert or like inset it and everything right here the way that it is, then it's going to potentially create, well, it's going to create a 6-pointed star right here, which is not something that I want. Or I guess, not 6-pointed, it'd actually be 7 point. No, yeah, no, 6 point. 6 point. You're right. Stop doubting myself. There we go. So yeah, that's something that I try to avoid. There are a couple of places where I cannot avoid it, and that's just la vie. C'est la vie. But there are some places like right here where I can control it, and there are a few different ways. I could go through, I can either add an edge loop right here and one going across here, and that'll help to kind of offset it or whatever. We'll add one right here, we'll add one right here, and then I could go through, I think, possibly do something like this, which I think will work just fine. Let's go through, maybe add with the dynamic, dynamic subdivision. We'll put not smoothness. We'll put the subdivisions up to 1, just so that way it gets a little bit more of the shape that we're expecting to see. Okay, now the gaps between each of these pieces, I will probably add in some sort of rubber trim to be able to make it feel like it's like it's got some sort of gasket, something to kind of keep dirt out, whatever, so it feels intentional, feels extra detailed. Places like up here, I'm not entirely sure what I'll do. That's a little bit broader of a gap right now because of the dynamic, kind of pulling itself away from itself. Let's go ahead and do the same thing with this piece down here, though. We'll just go ahead, we'll add the dynamic smooth, and then we'll take the thickness up to 0.04 or something like that, however much it was for the other piece. Looks about right. And then we'll go ahead, same thing, offset going to -100. Okay. That's cool. I'm really liking how this is turning out. Hey, Sean. I was just wondering if you're doing a No Spare Time challenge for February. I didn't get to join in the last one was severely depressed, but I am better now. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, dude, depression it's kind of like a kick in the teeth every day. It's hard. I totally get it. Let's do one then. Today is the 4th. We definitely need one for this month because I feel like the No Spare Time challenge is a great way for me personally to kind of exercise my brain a little bit. Yes, okay, so the theme for this month was, what was it? Let me look on the Patreon, because we did come up with a theme. The theme was oversized. Yeah, oversized. So, yeah. Yeah, so do with that what you will. I need to get the image created. I'm not entirely sure what I'll put for it. but yeah. All right, that'll be a good theme. something like that. And then we'll go ahead and let's say mask polygroup island, invert the mask, and then control click and drag. I love that. It's making the craft look a little happy, you know, just like happy little spaceship. Where can you check those challenges? All right, so there are a couple places. Let me pull up an interwebs. Okay. So on Discord, okay, over here on the in the SMAARTIST channel, there is a no spare time themes. Okay, which I believe I'm the only one that's allowed to post to this. I meant to go through and actually create this as an announcement channel, but yeah, anyone should be allowed to view or add reactions. But yeah, essentially this is one place where you can go. Okay, so let me go ahead and actually, how do I do this? I'm trying to remember. Invite people. Okay. Come on, I want this to never expire. Generate. Copy. All right, so anybody who wants to be able to join that is welcome to. There are places where you can like submit challenges. I don't think I've had, yeah, I haven't actually submitted like all of mine, my recent ones. Like here's the last one that I put in was for September. But then, you know, there's some work in progress things and whatnot. Sounds like somebody just sent a message. But yeah, so anybody who's interested is welcome to join. I mean, we've got a bunch of people that are online right now, so lots of fun stuff. Yeah, and then the other place, I post links and things like that there too, in case anybody's interested in different resources. And then no spare time design challenge. This is the other place. Yeah, I took a break for January, just kind of like worn out because of just really hard, just a really hard year. Really trying to commit to being a character artist now, and every time I watch you making a character and see brush inspires me. I'm glad, dude. I'm so glad that it's at least helpful to somebody. You know, I mean it's helpful to a few people, but it's always nice to hear when when I do is helpful to somebody. So I hope you get to feeling better though, because it's just hard. It's just really hard. Control W. Let's go ahead and let's say crease PG. So that way that keeps it at the back. Let's say crease edge loop partial right here to keep that more in place. And I think that's where I'm gonna leave it for right now. I mean, we've done a little bit today. It's not been the longest stream, but you know, we got some good stuff done. We started going through. We started to create some props for the back here, which is nice. We went ahead and we added in, you know, some more definition and ideas for the front here, which is great. I think that's starting to really look like something. Looks like a happy little buggy. I can't remember. Did we do anything on the character? I showed you a little bit about what I did on the character this morning. You know, going through and kind of giving some thickness to the scarf. But yeah, I mean, there's the shoes in case I didn't show you guys what the shoes are like yesterday. Oh shoot. we go. So yeah, that's what the shoes are looking like so far. I still need to go through and add like ties and laces. How often do you do the Smartest podcast, and do you have guests on it? So I try to do a podcast once a month. I have had a guest on once. There was once or twice. One was called like Ask Smartist. There was a student from Colorado who had called in. Is now a good friend of mine, and we had a conversation. She was asking a bunch of questions about industry experience and different recommendations, things like that. So yeah, lots of fun stuff that I try to put in there. I put in like a my everyday carry. So I have like my bag and the things that are important in my bag that I carry around and try to take with me anywhere, so in case I need it. I got to make sure that this is saved. But yeah, I mean, I try to do guest things occasionally. Last year, one of the other things I did is I did a stream with my best friend Mikkel Wellington. I was blanking on his last name. I was like, it's a really cool last name. I need to not blank on that last name because it's so stinking cool. But yeah, so I did that guest stream, and that was really fun. Did kind of like a pass the sculpt thing. So like if people are interested in that sort of thing, I really like doing stuff like that, because then we still get to talk. Get to talk shop. We get to chat and have fun. But then we also get to get a couple hours worth of demonstrations and fun. So yeah, that's the kind of thing that I like to do. Let me know what you guys like. Feel free to leave a comment or to send me a message. And yeah, we'll see what we have going on for this month. I'm hoping to be able to actually like my course. Let me show you guys what I've got. So the I have actually been considering lowering my course price a little bit. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Turned out nice. View profile. Store. Yeah, so for this course, I went through and I did a module on 3D printing and prepping things for 3D print. And it's super fun, and it's really great to be able to explore the ideas of how you prep something for a 3D print, especially something that has like little thin pieces and lots of dynamic flow, and you want to make it hollow and you want to make things key together nicely, whatever. Yeah, so it was really neat. So I'll be doing a video with Micah, who she's the one that went through and designed the original mermaid, and I'll be sending the mermaid to her so that she can have it as a gift and whatnot. And but yeah, it's kind of nice. Also for the brushes, got any good hair brushes for cartoony style characters? Absolutely. I do. I've got this one, which is really cool. Which is just these hair chunks, so one that has more of a square shape. I've got this one that's more like my standard, thick to thin, sort of nice wispy hair shape. I've got a hair braid. I've got curly hair. The curly hair was cool when I got that one working right. So yeah, that's really, really neat. And it's the only one with a rating. How about that? One rating, one review, 5.0. So whoever got it was really. I mean, it's had lots of purchases. It's just funny to have one rating, one review off of just one product. I've had a bunch of people buy my course. I've had a ton of people buy my hairbrush. I've gotten over $1,000 just from this hairbrush alone. And then lots of, several $100s from other brushes and things. The tutorials sell pretty well. Um, so yeah, it's been nice. It's been a nice way to kind of share things that I make and do. You can see kind of that there's what the hair looks like, and I want to explore different shapes and things. Yeah, I do put a brush in every month on Patreon. Last month was kind of funny. One of the things that people had asked for was this. Let's go to posts. Oh, dragon poop. At DreamWorks, most of you know already, but I had this the assignment to make dragon poop for the film, and so I made this IMM brush out of the dragon poop pieces, and it's something that people asked for on Patreon. So it was like, it's not something like I can't give away like the wheelbarrow and the actual props, but I can give away the brush that I made to be able to make the things. So yeah, it was really just a funny. It's just a funny. It really made me laugh that was something that they wanted. So yeah, I've got the poop brush up there. I've got my standard hairbrush up there. I've got my IMM primitive brush is up there. I've got a slide brush. Let me show you the slide brush because the slide brush is pretty fun. Published. Let me see. Yeah, I've got a bunch of different things. I've got the fur brush that I don't have that anywhere yet. So, it's exclusive to Patreon for the moment. I need to publish it though somewhere. It's pretty good. Let me see. Yeah, the chunk brushes, the hair chunk is on October. The standard hairbrush back September last year. Brick and fence micro poly, so you'd be able to make different walls and fences like that. Kind of that's a download, I think. That's for an upper tier. But then here's the slide brush, and the slide brush is awesome. Let's see if we can. Let's open that up. Open this up. Okay, so here's the slide. Okay, super nice. Clean topology, very nice. And then here's what it looks like if it's drawn out as a brush. So yeah, so if you do join in on the Patreon, you should be able to go back and get anything from previous months as well. So it's a really pretty cool deal. Yeah, it's just a super fun experiment. Lots of things to play around with. I feel like it's definitely well worth the jumping into. And then like here's the idea behind the brick and then the fence, and then there are a bunch of different fence pieces that you can go through and kind of trade out, I think. I'm trying to remember what it is that I included with it, but yeah, I mean, it's got there's some fun things. There's some fun things indeed. Recently, like, so for my upper tier, for the asset hoarders, I've got this. I've got the goldfish. I try to go through and put in like base meshes and things that I've made during streams or things like that. And this is one that I put in for the last month. Trying to think what else. Yeah, I'm in primitives brush. I put in polls, for the streams. I've got my Mr. Incredibles head base here. So yeah, that was fun. And this is one that I sculpted during a demo for class at Nomen. Yeah, in fact, I've got the time lapse for that up here too. And then I get sneak peeks up here as well. So like, I haven't posted that goldfish bowl yet. I've mentioned it a couple of times here on the stream, but yeah, I'll be going through and putting up the tutorial series, things like that. Yeah. Slide reminds me of going to big parks as a kid. Yeah, that's the idea. got a whole project idea behind it, and that's why I made it. But it was, and it actually I'd made it because of part of a project idea I got during the beta testing for the last ZBrush when we were testing out micropoly and things like that. But yeah, super fun. I meant to ask too. I don't have a 3D printer. Do you know if any companies that you can send your models to and they'll print and color it for you and send it to you? Shapeways does that. I know. I know there are a bunch of people that do that sort of thing. And anybody who has a 3D printer with those sorts of technologies involved can go through and do that. I personally can't go through and print in color. But yeah, I mean there are a lot of options. I like that. I'm gonna have to check that out later. Okay, but yeah, lots of stuff. Finally able to be here. Oh my gosh, Yvonne, I'm about to jump off. Oh no. It's good to see your name up here though. Yeah, it's like that's hard timing because like anyway. I am so sorry. I'll have to coordinate with you guys on that. I feel so bad. You finally get on here. Yeah, I always have the videos on demand. So one of the things, yeah, you can never catch me. I'll just have to coordinate with you and see, if a time where you can be on too. Yvonne, by the way, Yvonne is my my very first Patreon patron. She's been awesome. I love having her around. And she's probably the most active person on Patreon, commenting and liking and things like that. So it's good to see you, though. Hope you and your husband are doing well. Cool. Yeah. If you become part of the brush collectors on Patreon, yeah, it should be fun. It's a good group. Yvonne's part of that group, and yeah, we have some fun. You got into Gnomon? Awesome! Man, I had no idea. I didn't know that you had even applied yet. I thought that you were still working toward it or something. You're going to have to show me some stuff, because that's awesome. Congratulations. That is fantastic. Big applause for Yvonne. Yeah, because that's excellent. That's excellent. So you'll be able to stay where you are, right? Yeah, Sean on Twitch says, congrats to Yvonne, if she can even see my message. Very cool. Very cool. Well, I'm excited for you. So you'll be able to do that from home for now, right? And then, yeah, that'll be cool. What track are you enrolled in? And when do you start classes? Do you start in the fall? Moving to LA. Start summer. Wow. Now, they haven't told us yet whether or not it'll be on campus. Is it something that we're still going to be doing things remotely? Did they tell you? Are you needing to be prepared to attend classes in person? Now, you have to understand, the Spurs are not the big team here. You just gotta keep that in mind. BFA, awesome. Well, I'm excited for you. I'm happy for you. Yeah, it should still be remote. From what I understand, last I heard, I think that the whole year, this whole 2021, should be remote still. But I'm not entirely sure. All right. Well, it's good to hear from you. It's good to see you, and I hope you had a good hope you have a good day. And I guess maybe I'll see you around campus. I don't know what prerequisites there are for my class, but if you ever get to take my class, it'll be fun. Anyways, I will see you guys around, and thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me, and thanks for your patience and enjoying my or politely laughing at my jokes. And yeah, I'll see you guys around the internet. Congratulations again, Yvonne, and I'll see you guys around.